This is the last time that I'll be doing the op-ed piece here on Lakes TV3. The reason is because I've accepted a position in St. Cloud with the same company that brings you Lakes TV3 and also the radio stations here. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to really thank everyone that's been tuning in over the years. You've really been a great inspiration to me here in the Lakes area. I've met tons of wonderful, fabulous people. And I'll admit, if it wasn't for the TV program, I'd probably be able to go through the grocery store without being disturbed at some time. But I've always enjoyed stopping and talking casually with different viewers and different listeners about the topics that concern them locally, across the state, and everywhere else. And I hope as you've watched this over the last few years, I at least made you think a little bit about the different things that are happening in the Lakes area and offer maybe a different perspective, albeit at times probably an outsider's perspective. The position that I've taken allows me to move to St. Cloud, which is very close to where I grew up in the northwest suburbs of Anoka and the rest of the Twin Cities area. And again, as I mentioned, allows me to stay with the company. But I think though how long I've been here, 9 years. We've been doing this TV3 segment for about the last 4. But really, I moved here in 2006 to work as a news director for Bob Spillman at KRCQ. And from there, my career evolved, and I got to do more and more and more as I stayed here in the Lakes area. And frankly, I'll say I've worked very few days in my life in the 9 years that I've been here. But I remember when I first got here, Highway 10 was the old Highway 10. The realignment project hadn't even started yet. That city has grown by leaps and bounds since I first moved here, starting with the RDG plan, which I remember going to those first meetings with those different RDG consultants and the city as they began looking forward. The 150th celebration when the state turned 150, we were one of the star cities that helped celebrated that. And so many hundreds and thousands of different news stories that I've been able to be a part of and cover and report on in between, and at times even discuss the hot topics right here with you. I will truly miss my time here in the Lakes area, and I would truly miss my conversations with you. But as we look forward, let's talk about where we've been. This city is growing by leaps and bounds. The railroad traffic has been a big concern nowadays. Aquatic invasive species was something 9 years ago when I moved here we barely even talked about. I knew about them. It was bigger on the eastern part of the state, but once it hit home here, things got moved forward in that progression big time. This area has been tremendous. With the volunteerism that we have, with the way that we have so much local community pride, it's been extremely, extremely impressive. I've been the privilege of being involved with several local organizations as well that has strengthened that in me. A part of me will always stay here in Detroit Lakes. Heck, I've called this place home for really the last 7 years. And when I moved here 9 years ago, I thought I'd be here 1 year. And I won't lie, this was the first time I'd ever put out any kind of application, any kind of resume, anything for another job. And I was lucky enough to get it within the company and be able to move down to St. Cloud, where I'll be closer to my family, but yet never too far away from here. So don't be surprised when you see me around here in the Lakes area, because I'll be coming back. Heck, if I play my cards right, maybe 32, 33 years from now, you'll see me back on a more sub-permanent basis, if you know what I mean, as many people like to come north for the twilight years of their life. But in the meantime, I've got another journey I've got to get on with, another chapter. And this has been a fantastic chapter, longer than I ever thought it would be, filled with more joy, more fun, more experiences than I really ever thought imaginable. I moved here as a 24-year-old kid with really very little knowledge. I feel I move away as a 33-year-old man, and I thank the Lakes area for that.